Now, I guess where I'm not understanding is that I'm not sure what is so hard to comprehend that I only give my readings to people who are smiling. Hey, girl. Hello, my beautiful Leo. How are you doing? Oh my gosh. My name is SimplyVelca, and I'm going to be doing your weekly reading this week. Weekly general reading. I'm sorry, I'm just caught off guard by the cards flying out for you. I also do your weekly love reading, Leo, which I'll leave a link to over here. And it's just a love reading between you and your soulmate that I do each week. But when it comes to any of my readings, be sure to rely on your intuition because, put it in perspective, Leo, I'm just a man reading some tarot cards to you. You know your situation better than I ever possibly could, so take the cards that resonate and leave what doesn't, because I promise you I'm not going to be offended by it. If you find some cards that resonate with you, though, be sure to let me know in the comments below which one called out to you the most, because I love hearing y'all's aha moments that you have with the cards. And then also be sure to leave me a like and subscribe, because it does help out my channel a lot, and I always am super appreciative when you guys take the time to do that for me. And then finally, this reading is here just to give you some perspective this week, Leo. I'm not here to make a decision for you because this is your life to live, not mine, right? So with all that being said, let's get into your reading. I hope this reading just helps give you some perspective to help you make your decisions in your life, or help guide you to make good decisions in your life, hopefully, right? Yeah, let's get into your overall energy now, Leo. Your overall energy is the Page of Swords with the Six of Swords. So this is almost like having the insight of when to move on from something and start something new. This is also, Leo, having the insight to know when to bite your tongue, having the insight to know what is like your own ego coming into play, right? This is also knowing when to hold yourself accountable, when to work on yourself when it comes to something, knowing when to be the bigger person as well, when to wash your hands clean of something without, even if you feel like there is a misjustice happening in your life, or where you feel like you aren't being treated right or aren't being spoken to, you know, whatever your storyline is. I feel like the theme for this week for you, Leo, is going to be, I would take this as, this is going to be a week of mental mastery for you. I guess is how the best way to like summarize it, of where your mind is going to be really challenged, and how you handle things are really going to be put up to the test to see how you handle being put when you're put under pressure, sort of thing, right? We have for your first row the Eight of Pentacles coming in here. This is what letting me know, more so confirming of where this is here to teach you something this week. Something here is more so like a heads up, Leo, of either this, and this can come in, this challenge we'll call this, can come into form in the shape of a person. It can come into the shape of an event happening, right? I will just use the narrative of a person, or like a bad habit, because of this Devil card coming in after your Eight of Pentacles. So this is, again, just this, there's just like this entire emphasis, Leo, of having the insight, having the wisdom to avoid something that is just not of service to you, not of value to you, knowing when to wash your hands of something, knowing when to move on from something, knowing when something's causing you pain, and knowing how to empower yourself through some type of pain, right? So let's just say, as an example, someone ripped you off, someone scammed you in some type of way in terms of business, right, Leo? Rather than feeling like a victim because of it, I mean, it doesn't take away that you might have suffered, right? But rather than feeling like a victim and snapping from it and like pushing back or trying to whatever, right? Rather than feeding more energy into the situation, you go to the drawing board. You learn from this. You learn what you can do to improve in your situation to avoid it in the future. But also, you learn what you want to avoid. You learn in yourself through the situation of like what was brought out from yourself through some type of pain that was caused by something out from somebody else, or some type of outside event happening, right? You're really just being a student of life this week. So let's get into your clarification though. We have for you the High Priestess card with the Eight of Pentacles. So this is confirming to me of where something happened. maybe this isn't going to come as a shock to you, Leo. Maybe this reading is going to come in of where it's just like you've been ignoring something for a while now that you haven't wanted to address, maybe in yourself, and that's what this devil is something in yourself that you wanted to address. Or maybe this is like that toxic person that, or I don't like categorizing people as toxic. A person that's playing a toxic role in your life, we'll say, Leo. And this could just mean where you like are obsessing over someone that just clearly isn't giving you the same energy, right? That Six of Pentacles energy, if we had that coming in for you. You know, it's not that equal give and take, right? This reading comes in, this is like your sign, baby, this is your sign to let go of that toxic energy, right? Knight of Swords comes in for your Devil card, more so confirming of, let's go with the narrative of this being a person. This is like that wishy-washy person. Sometimes they're in, sometimes they're out. A lot of the times, like, if it feels like this is like, if it's in regards to a person, you can't really tell their intentions. Like, they're just, it's a lot of word games, perhaps you feel like with them. If this is in regards to yourself, it's just that energy where some days you feel committed to working out, or some days you feel committed to like moving on from some type of energy and you're really in tune with your intuition. But then other days, as this Knight of Swords, you kind of like falter back, right? And then we have the Knight of Pentacles, a lot of Knights energy. So this is definitely a youthful crowd or a youthful energy this week, Leo, of where it's like, this is definitely a maturing week for you. I see this like, because the Knights go out on journeys to mature themselves in some type of way, right? And so when you have the Ten of Swords with the Knight of Pentacles, this is almost like, because of some type of pain, you're putting yourself in a completely new territory. So let's just say you're used to having like only, let's just say, Leo, you're a writer and you're used to only having friends who never shared your interest, right? They were like anything but writers. You never could really talk anything about writing stories or poem, like whatever it is that you should write about, right? And then something happened with one of your friends that like caused you some pain, that frustrated you, or like made it blatantly obvious that like they just don't care about your writing, they don't care about your passion, and that bothers you, right? And it's like one of those things where you can't fault them because you knew going into this they weren't into writing. But then like these other days you'll be like, so yeah, that's where you're just like, some days you're just like, I can't stand them, but then you're just like, well, maybe I should just go out and get some new friends. And those new friends are actually writing, like you go into like, you make the effort of like finding like fellow writers, right, to be friends with, right? You start putting more effort into something that's more your energy and learning when to just pick your fights almost, right? That's essentially what it is, learning when to pick your fights. The Strength card coming in as well with your High Priestess card. So yeah, you're very much so in tune with this week. I really see this week for you, Leo, as a week of where you just allow things, be very malleable. Is that the word, malleable? Malleable, where, you know, just go with the flow of things. Don't be rigid in what's happening with your thoughts or your emotions. Just be very malleable this week and just be a student of, allow yourself to be a student of life this week. Don't take things personally. Don't internalize things this week, Leo. Eight of Swords, though. Don't internalize things this week, but also learn when to get out. Again, it's just like this push of like, yeah, you don't take things personally, but don't trap yourself either. So it's just like, you know, that friend, while they don't care about your writing, don't take it personally, but don't also, because you're giving them the benefit of the doubt and being like, okay, I can understand why they wouldn't be into writing. Don't force yourself in that energy. Don't continue surrounding yourself in that energy. Just because you can give some of the benefit of the doubt and understand from their perspective, just because you can understand somebody, Leo, doesn't necessarily mean you have to still commit to that energy. You still, again, have to at some point make the decision when to move on, just for your own good, going into new territories, right? The Four of Wands in the reverse, and that's what I feel like the thing is, where it's just like, this is a week for you Leo, of just learning when to go chasing after your own happiness. And sometimes, this is very much so like a reading of like some people, some things, some jobs, some options, some opportunities, some blessings only come in our momentary in our lives, and sometimes you have to move on from it. You never want to be stuck in this type of Eight of Swords energy. With this Eight of Pentacles comes in as well on your Eight of Pentacles row. So we start this reading for your row as how we're closing out your first row, of where it's like learning. It's just all about, the emphasis is just learning. Really be a student of life this week. I know I sound so repetitive, Leo, and I guess I do apologize, but it's like, this is a really amazing week for a lot of character growth, I feel, for you. King of Swords comes in for your Devil card. So yeah, this is the week for you to, whatever this Devil is, whatever this Eight of Swords and Devil is, this is what you need to master this week. With this Knight of Swords, you go on that journey and you become the King of Swords. You start this week out not really sure how to handle something when you're kind of in your emotions, not really committed, and you want to end this week as the King of Swords, where you break free from this. You basically rising above, you move on, right? You go into your new journey, Ace of Wands. You go into this new passion. You go, you find these new writer friends, and from there it just unlocks like a whole array of opportunities. Very Seven of Cups energy. And then Ace of Swords as well, I pulled out extra for you. So a lot of aces, a lot of forward move, like affirmations for you to go forward with something, Leo. And yeah, that's the reading that I have for you. Hopefully one of these cards resonated with you. If they did, be sure to leave me a like and subscribe, and also share my video with a friend if you think that they would be interested in my reading style, Leo. But until next time, I love you so much.